Frankenstein, Guillermo. The wind howled through the Carpathian peaks as Guillermo tightened his cloak. He was no stranger to cold. He had crossed deserts, survived the thin air of mountains, but there was something unnatural about the chill here. It cut through bone, like the breath of death itself. He had come with a purpose. To find Victor Frankenstein's abandoned creation, the so-called monster, the being whispered about in letters that circulated through scholars and occultists alike. Guillermo had read them in candlelit monasteries, where frightened monks kept the papers locked away, convinced they were cursed. But Guillermo was a seeker, not a coward. He found shelter in a ruined hunting lodge, its roof half collapsed, timbers blackened with rot. Snow piled against the broken doorway. As he set his pack down, a voice came from the shadows. "You follow me." Guillermo froze. He had not heard footsteps. Slowly, he turned. There, taller than any man, gaunt yet powerful, eyes like glaciers lit from within. The creature. Frankenstein's abandoned child. Guillermo bowed slightly, not from fear but respect. "Yes, I have followed. I mean you no harm." The being stepped forward, shoulders brushing the rafters. "None mean harm, until they see my face. Then comes fire, stone, iron. Do you bring them too?" "No," Guillermo said firmly. "I bring questions. And perhaps answers." For a long moment, silence filled the room, broken only by the snow's hiss against broken shutters. Finally, the creature sat heavily, wood groaning beneath him. "Ask." Guillermo sat opposite, studying him not as monster, but as man. His stitches had long since faded to scars. His skin, though pallid, bore the wear of decades. His expression was weary, not savage. "You are alone," Guillermo said softly. "But you were not meant to be." The creature's jaw tightened. "He made me. Then he hated me. He cursed my existence, yet it was his hands that shaped me. What am I, if not curse embodied?" Guillermo leaned forward. "You are not curse. You are proof. That man can defy death. That matter can sing again with life. That creation is possible. And yet I kill," the being said bitterly. "Everywhere I go, death follows. My maker, my brother, my bride who never was, all gone. Because of me." Guillermo shook his head. "Not because of you. Because of abandonment. A father's neglect poisons the child. Victor Frankenstein feared you, and his fear shaped your path. What if, instead, he had guided you? Taught you? You might have been a healer, a savior." The creature's eyes flickered, as if a hidden ember glowed behind them. "You speak as though I may still become that." "Why not?" Guillermo said. He pulled a bundle from his pack and unwrapped it carefully. Inside lay tools. Scalpels, glass vials, a journal inked with diagrams. "I have studied your maker's notes." His method was incomplete, reckless. But the principle, it can be refined. The creature leaned closer, hunger in his gaze. "Refined? You mean, others. Not abominations," Guillermo said quickly. "Not things abandoned in horror. But companions, family, souls like yourself, given care, given purpose. You need not be the last." For a moment, Guillermo feared he had spoken too boldly. The creature's massive hands clenched, his breath quickened. Then, to Guillermo's surprise, he laughed, a sound cracked and harsh, but carrying wonder. "All my years, I sought vengeance. To burn what made me, to make him feel my solitude. And now you speak of undoing solitude." "Yes," Guillermo whispered. "You are not the end. You are the beginning." They traveled together after that, through forests, across icy rivers, into cities under cover of night. Guillermo taught the creature languages, histories, the philosophies of compassion. The creature, in turn, taught Guillermo endurance, silence, and how to see the world not as men saw it, but as outcasts did, always from the edges, always through glass darkened with suspicion. In hidden cellars, they performed experiments. They took no fresh corpses, Guillermo forbade it. Only those who had died unwanted, buried in paupers' graves, with no family to mourn. Slowly, painfully, they learned. Nerves could spark, hearts could thrum once more. And one night, under stormlight, it happened. A young woman, drowned in the river weeks before, opened her eyes on their table. She gasped, coughed water from lungs that should never have worked again. Guillermo held her hand. The creature whispered, "Breathe." When she sat up, trembling, Guillermo knew the course of his life had changed. Months became years. They made 3 more. 2 men, 1 child. Each fragile, each scarred by their unnatural birth, yet alive, aware, capable of love. Guillermo kept them hidden, teaching them, feeding them, guarding them like his own. The creature, once so bitter, became their guardian. He carved them toys from wood, told them stories of mountains and oceans, taught them to be gentle though his hands could crush stone. For the first time, his gaze softened with something like peace. But peace, Guillermo knew, cannot last. Word spread of strange lights in abandoned chapels, of corpses missing from graves. Villagers grew suspicious. Priests declared it unholy. Hunters came with torches. Guillermo pleaded with the creature to flee deeper into the wilderness, but the creature only shook his head. No, no more fleeing. If they call me monster, then let me show them what monster truly means. Guillermo grabbed his arm. No, you are more than rage. We must prove them wrong, not confirm their fears. The creature hesitated, torn between wrath and Guillermo's faith. At last, he sighed. Then speak for us. But if they come with fire, I cannot promise restraint. The night of reckoning came swift. Dozens gathered at the gates of their refuge, torches blazing. The resurrected children hid, trembling. Guillermo stepped out alone, hands raised. He spoke of life, of mercy, of the miracle of second chances. He begged them to see not monsters but beings who laughed, learned, and loved. At first, they jeered. But then, the resurrected woman stepped from the shadows. She sang, a simple hymn she remembered from childhood. Her voice cracked, uneven, but it was human, achingly human. The mob faltered. Some lowered their torches. A few wept. And the creature, watching from the doorway, felt something he had never felt before, acceptance, however fleeting. Years later, tales spread not of Frankenstein's monster, but of a hidden sanctuary where the lost were reborn, where the broken found family. Some called it heresy, others called it miracle. Guillermo simply called it hope. And the creature, no longer monster, no longer nameless, took a name for himself at last. He chose Adam, the first, and no longer the last.